Lightning, okay?
Huh?
Is the
Yeah,
lightning?
is it? Yeah, yours is warm. Mine looks a bit cold, but I can't even be bothered to thingy right now. I think it's all right. Can you see us? And we're there, and we're fine. I like your hair. I like your earrings too. They look
Thank
fire. Nice. All right, hold on there. Well, water. Well, yeah. It was live at 5, but yeah, what I got company and stuff, so it wasn't 5. Okay, and so feel good Friday, and we are. I'm here joined with the lovely Azia, um, like in my heart called Az,
you.
and we're gonna be
Azina.
yeah, but yo, them better know. Give them just that taste and not give them nothing else. Um, we're gonna be exploring the second half of the conversation we started, called the about the 7 stages of grief. You know what? See, it's a laughing house. You see, it is a peaceful house. It's a joyful yard. Yeah. So the 7 stages of grief. We did the first three. Um, not last week, week before, and we're just gonna round off the series with the last 4 steps, and then call it end of season, ready for the retrograde season. More on that later on. All right, let me run the intro. Yes, yes. Big shout out to my cousin, Soul Productions, for the intro music as well. So YouTube and the free music policy can sit on something and enjoy it. So, because it's Friday and I'm just in that kind of mood, innit? Um, so
Feels like Friday every day now.
it
Every
does,
day feels like Friday.
don't it? Because it feels as if like you've done enough. It feels like there's a whole week with every day is a whole week. Yeah, yeah. And it's just like by the time you get to like these times in the day, you feel like, yo, I accomplished a lot, you know. Do you know? Because how's it going with you, like with your side, in terms of like lockdown and things like that?
Um, it was so strange because I saw people wearing masks like
Hmm.
outside, and I was thinking, my God, I must be living in a different world because I just don't pay attention to it at all. I just can't bother to pay attention to what's going on. So I'm just creating my own reality.
That reminds me of the Louise Hay thing, man. That might be true for them, but it's not true for me. It's that like, because the thing is, regardless of anything, like regardless of whom or what or whatever we think, until they figure out what it is that they're doing, they'll figure out what they're doing, and then they'll let us know what they're doing. And until they figure that out, we're not gonna know anyway. So,
I try not to follow every bit of it, what's going on. I mean, what we're told to believe what's going on. So I just don't follow it.
I hear that. Well, you know what? My grandma used to say, "Follow your mind," and that's the one man, because, like, my mom this week, like, I was, I was having a moment, and I was doing some processing and whatnot, and so she phoned me, like, so I've rang her back. You all right, mom? And like, when she get the apple don't land far from the tree, any. So when she gets into her zhuzh, right, and she gets into her little warrior mode, yeah, so I'm gone, you all right, mom? She's gone, Natalie, remember warn your people, them, you know, warn your people, peace and love. Tell them it's about peace. Warn your people. Tell them it's about, like, she's going off on some gully vibes, and I'm thinking, what now? Like, has somebody been, you get me? That's quite prevalent, and where like we live and whatever is very active. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, who now? Because literally since January, I've lost one person each month. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm like, what is it, mum? Like, what is it? No, start at the beginning, babe. Start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. You get what I'm saying? And just warn your people, them, me get the message, me get the download, peace and love. Like, so you can see the apple don't land far from the tree because that does sound like some madness I jump off with. But I'm saying, but what could I cause this? No, I'm trying. So I'm already trying to fight anxiety while trying to manage her anxiety because I can feel it coming at me down the phone, right? And I'm going, what is it, mum? But like, can you just at least tell me what it is so I can start to at least think? I'm thinking, has somebody done one of my nieces or nephews? Sort of like, what is going on? My lady been watching the news and hearing the bangaranga. Yeah, but mom, but mom, is it by force that you watch the news? Is it by force that if it's making you feel like that, you must leave it on? Is it by force that once you watch the thing that nobody's making you watch, you're then gonna speak and phone up your child on a random one without explaining everything, what the whole thought process, and then just boom and landing that all on my lap, and I'm just like, all right, okay. So then I had to go into here's the thing, yeah, and it's quite funny because I actually went into stage 4 of the grief process, which is it's a I swear I didn't even make the connection until just now. I went into anger and bargaining because first I'm pissed. I am so annoyed that that's what it is that you've come and just completely disturbed my peace with. Yeah. But then I understood and it was like in that moment I had to like so I was annoyed, frustrated. That's the anger part, and then the bargaining was just like having to start talking and saying, "Well, mum, for one, it's not by force that you watch the thing. Mum, for two, start by up the argument. Is it your argument? Did you create the thing? Did you create it? Did you cause anybody to war? You can manage your
Mm-hmm.
part piece in the thing, but you didn't cause something. So why are you buying up the argument for call for peace for? Are you causing any discord apart from nearly giving me a heart attack and driving my anxiety through the flipping roof?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And then I dropped the Louise Hay phrase on her because I'm having to really like. There's been a shift again, and as we're entering into retrograde season, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting from what I can ascertain. And I just had to just really start the bargaining, and that was the bargaining part. Just really talking to her and saying, "Yo, but mum, how many?" I said, "Who are you? Like, who are you?" And I said, "And who am I?" So I said, "So what's been handed down to me as who I am is carrying everybody's stuff, the vehicle, the container for everybody's stuff. It's just a subconscious thing of everybody. Oh yeah, you hold that for me. You hold that for me. And then what you've done is brought up somebody else's argument and then come and plop that in my lap. I said, who are you, mum, and who am I?
Mm-hmm.
That's when the bargaining start to come. Like because we have to use. It's not like there's a whole lot of respite from the thing. Yeah, because like so I was just like before I flip my lid and really explain like why you shouldn't be bringing them kind of argument to me. I tried to alchemize the anger with logic and the bargaining side of things. So I don't know what you make of that or how you want to jump in, but basically anger, bargaining, and here it says this stage usually occurs after the ceremonies and funerals. The comforting family and friends have left, and you're trying to go about life as usual. That's often when the anger comes in, and often the bargaining as well. Um, so there's a bit more to it, but like, any thoughts, basically?
I was just going through the same thing when yeah, my grandmother passed away, but I
Hmm.
felt the anger and the bargaining came before.
Hmm.
Like I felt like it was just the shock, the pain, the anger, and the bargaining came for me at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, it doesn't have to go in order, in the order that they've set it out
Yeah.
necessarily. And what did that look like for you, or how did that manifest from you or for you, if that
But
makes
it
sense?
actually helped me to be also in a space I needed to be. It's really strange.
Mhm.
Like because I think those feelings, how you feel, are very raw,
Yeah.
and so I was able to act in a way that I wouldn't have. So I was like I was going through it at the same time. I was able to do things what I really needed to do to help me
Hmm.
through the grief. To grief, yeah. So, but they were all happening at the same time. The grief, the shock, the denial, the pain, the guilt, the anger, the bargaining. Yeah.
And do you remember any?
So they put me in a good space.
Mm.
I was in a good space. I don't know how to explain it other than like I was going through these emotions, but I felt like I was in a good space.
And how was that expressing? How was you expressing that, or how was it expressed? Like,
How
could
was
it?
it like not expressed, but like how was it done in reality?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, I was able to go and actually organize everything, plan everything so I could make it, try to make it to her funeral. But even though the whole thing was going on, I was just like, I was so clear in what I needed to do. Like
So
I just didn't sit in those feeling. I was able to put them into action, maybe.
yeah, it sounds as if it manifested as clarity, as
Yeah,
organization, as action. So it's just to kind of sometimes I think it's helpful to identify, well, what did that look like? What actually
yeah,
came out of it? Because it's
yeah,
interesting, isn't it? So that's some serious alchemy going in there. So still,
yeah. And there was like something, an affirmation I keep saying to myself in this crazy time, moments,
mm,
minutes, seconds. Um, it's what was it? Oh, I forgot. I used to say it all the time. But basically, it's my human right to be, my spiritual right to be clear, to have clarity at all time.
mm,
Like it doesn't matter what I'm going through. So that's what I promise myself.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's a beautiful promise, and it is. For me. It's really at the front of the list. Really is.
Yeah.
Really. All right. So then, this one I think is well. It kind of ties in. I think this it seems to be that they flow through. I don't know whether in order or out of order. There seems to be like connections to each one, because then it says that the next one is depression or loneliness or reflection or a combination of
Hmm.
all of them, which we've already started to kind of talk on it. For me, depression manifests when I'm grieving. I've only literally like I've just turned 43, maybe since the age of 42 have I even um, began to acknowledge depression in myself. But one of the things that helped me to make friends with depression is when somebody said depression deep rest, you're depressed deep rest,
Ah,
or
I like that. I like that.
a
Oh,
need
I
for
call it
it.
spiritual awakening.
Oh, I like. Where is my? I haven't got my lighter with me. It's over there. Sure. Yeah. So
Because
that
it's
was
like
kind of
it's something like when you come out of it, it's just like you're more
yeah,
awakened.
yeah. There's an incubation feeling like I do. I feel like I'm like because when I'm in my depressed state, like don't get me wrong, I'll get things done, and sometimes I'm actually even more stubborn because I'm just very stubborn anyway. Like you're not gonna move me if I don't want to move. I'm not moving. However, um, in a depressed state, I'll be getting things done, but I'll probably like be under the duvet and banging things out. Like you'd have no idea unless I really tell you, and or unless you really know me and see my patterns and whatnot. You're not gonna know, and it's what. So it's taken me a long time to make friends with the depressive aspect of my personality. Sometimes, um, the loneliness, I don't. I understand what loneliness is cognitively for others, but I don't experience loneliness. Like I've never ever felt alone, and I seriously doubt that I ever will because for me, for one, I'm there, so I can't be alone because I'm there. Like, just to me, logically,
Someone is
because
always home.
somebody's always there, so I'm there. So I'm never alone because I'm there, and I have mad conversations with self anyway. So because I'm a friend to myself, I'll be in a relationship with myself. There's a lot because like you have to know yourself, like, and for the most part, like many people don't. So there's so much learning there. I'm never alone for one. Two, I'm aware of a higher spirit and what have you. And yo, peace, bro. I'm aware of a higher power, a higher energy or something greater than myself, which I feel the presence of anyway. So and have done just so many times over my life and from a very young age. And then um working as a Reiki practitioner anyway, and just coming from a family of people who are tune in differently. Just aware of different energies that may pass through as well. So, like, I never feel alone, but I understand in terms of grief, how loneliness could manifest in terms of if it's a partner, if it's a sibling, if it's somebody that, especially when there's intimacy, doesn't necessarily have to be on a physical level, but just the intimacy of living together or whatnot, or interacting closely. Um, in terms of, I understand, like bringing it back to the whole lockdown thing. A lot of people experience that loneliness, even if they were in quarantine with family. It can sometimes also feel lonely, like lonely from your social norms or work and things like that. People experience that kind of loneliness, and then the reflection, like it's either you can be feeling this thing and not explore it, or you can start to try and reflect and make sense. I don't know, but that's what that one is. And just again, what's your thoughts, feelings, experiences around them thing
Okay,
there?
I'm gonna skip depression because we talked about it a little bit, but I loved what you said about loneliness, that you never feel lonely. That's so beautiful because I think now I'm understanding that even more. So I know what you're saying. It's someone is always home, right? So it's
Yeah, man.
not in a
Oh,
sense
I
like
like that.
physical home, like not like physically like home building, but like I'm home, so I can talk to myself.
Someone's always home. That's beautiful. I,
Yeah. Well, you said it, so I'm thinking. So when you do that, it's like somebody's always home, so you're always speaking. That's amazing because I don't think like I don't know. We should never feel. alone, like lonely. That's such a beautiful thing to know that, like to have that awareness, because
And
I
it
think
may,
that creates a lot of confusion. And I think the reflection comes, I think for me, the reflection was like to think about the beautiful things like I
mm,
experienced, like what if it was an experience or a person, just to think about like how what I gained from it. So I don't know, it makes me cry sometimes, it makes me laugh with myself because someone is always home.
yeah, man. Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, like I feel it very profoundly for people that do feel lonely. Like I genuinely feel it for them. And like I understand, I think to a certain degree I understand what that feeling feels like from an empathy point of view.
Mm,
And um even though I don't experience it myself, I do have a lot of empathy for it because that must be a hard place to be in.
mm,
And to not have the knowledge of the great presence that you can be, even in our most chaotic, even in our
mm,
most not highest self, even in
mm.
our most annoying, like there's still amazingness within each person. Like there's still something that can be like, raw. Actually, yeah, there's a reason you're here, and to not the need for somebody else to be there outweighing that, it makes it
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, I know, but I think, like you said, it's important. It's really important to know that you have that. I mean, everyone has it. It's like we all have it. And but if you have not been able to tap into that, sometimes I get so excited to have a date with myself, or like when I go for a walk. I'm like, oh, nobody's bothering me. When I go for my morning walk in the woods, I just get excited. I'm like, I hope people don't think I'm crazy because I'm laughing. And
No, but you just need a little dose of you. Like, I need
yeah,
some of this.
yeah, but it's so interesting. It's just like, how we take so much time to get to know other people. Like, it's like, do we take time to get to know self and know thyself?
But this is the thing when you think of all these kind of, whether you come from a religious kind of perspective or a spiritual or, other kind of modalities, none of them ever say get to know someone else. They always say first know yourself. In all things, know yourself.
But they don't really say how.
No, that this is true. This is
Or they
true.
don't show you. It's like, okay, maybe it's in the Bible. People who are religious should know thyself, right? But do you have an example, people who are living it? Yeah.
Wow, this is the thing because we
Or
often we
or are
often
they
get
showing you
taught.
how to do it?
No, I think we
And
often
they
get
live
taught
by
up
example.
that. Well, we have to. I guess it's like self-esteem and other things that we don't get taught. We don't even though there's such a focus on being in relationships, we don't get taught how to do that. I can't think of any culture that I know that teaches us how to be in relationship with other people. I've not seen that. It's not in school.
What
It's
do you
not.
mean? What do you mean? How to relate to other people? What do you?
Just at the basis. Okay, for instance, we'll get told, prepare to be a good partner. Bless you, darling. Are you cold? Yeah. Do you want to shut the door? Yeah. I can pause this. Yeah, pause it if you want to. Press the space bar. Sorry, 1 second. Press the space bar. Is it paused? No, it's not working. That's all right. Come back to it. It's fine. It's fine. Right. And then if you go in, you shut the door, and you see over in this little crocus box here. Go in there. Go over there. Stop. Now turn towards by where the vacuum cleaner is. You see that box there? You see the little plastic thing? Lift up. Right. Looks right. Turn towards the window. Right. Now look down. Right. You see that plastic thing? Uh, the square plastic thing there. Look. Look where my finger's pointing. Yeah. Lift up that. Lift up the pillow. The pillow. Look at the pillow next to it at the side. Yeah. Lift up the pillow. You see underneath the pillow there's a grey throw. Take out the throw. That's it. Good lad. Good job. And take it and wrap up yourself and comfortable now, yeah? All right. Sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, that was such a mad random thing because it's that thing of where you know you where you're looking, but they see things so differently. Right, boom. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, we're taught to seek a person to marry and spend the rest of your life with. That's pretty much for most people, most cultures, most
Mhm.
modern, but they don't tell us how to do that. Like, what do you need to do for yourself in order to live with a person for the rest of your life? Like, who teaches that? Where do we learn that?
We need to create a school for that.
Let's do it. Let's do it. But I
Because
think, I
it's so
think.
funny you said that. It's so funny you said that. I was thinking today because I had some time to talk to myself. So I was thinking like
Mm,
in most like okay, because I'm Eritrean, so let me speak from my own
mhm.
experiences. So it's like a lot of the women were married off, right? It's like, and then it's just, and then and then the man takes over most of the time, yeah, in those cultures.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And in Europe, it's not any different. It's like maybe they choose the men, or they think they chose the men, and it happens the same thing.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, it's not any different.
The language might be the same, the
When
cultural
I talk to
norms.
my European friends, I'm always shocked. And one of them always says, why are you shocked? And I'm like, I thought you European women were like ahead of us in so many things. And she's like, why would you think? Like, I thought because you choose your own partner, I thought,
But
then
do we?
I don't know, because that's the impression you get. Like that's what maybe it's the movies. Maybe it's the movies. Just like
I think because it's actually the reality is a lot different. What me digress. That's another topic for another day. Um,
but how did we get to this one? So because we're talking about loneliness and reflection, right?
yeah, loneliness because we was talking about like so in terms of the reason why I'm saying it is because in order to learn to be with somebody else to not be alone, surely that would start with knowing yourself and understanding yourself and building yourself just back into like just tying in to a conversation about actually how that experience of loneliness, even though excuse me, oops, pardon, even though we understand it, it's not something we experience because we have that experience of getting to yes ourselves, getting to have a
Hmm.
relationship with self. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but mm, yeah.
What are you thinking? Because
No,
I
I was
know.
thinking about like how you said that you always knew that you were never alone. So was that like something you knew, or something that was mirrored, like somebody was living it and you saw it? Or do you
It,
think it was just like it was part of your gift? or your giving, your what do you call it?
It's just something that I was very aware of from
Are
very
you were
young.
aware of? Hmm.
Yeah, like just I mean, just on one level, it could be just like the corner of the eye thing. That just in and of itself, which has increased over time, and it was happening before I even had the I was aware of it even before I had the language to express. I had the awareness of it. Um, One of the times that I could really concretely say, well, there's two. Once where when I was about, I was under 10, and I just knew that I could dive at the swimming pool. I saw it done, and I was like, I want to try that, which is not a problem. However, this dive was in the shallow end of the swimming pool. So, and I've always been a chunky, solid. You get me, like from a bed. So I've obviously hit my head at the bottom of the pool, and I was aware, not physical hands, because those came after, but I was aware of my friend, not like a person that I speak to, or an imaginary friend. When I say my friend, just this
Invisible friend.
more like this energy that's been with me from before I had the language to express that there's this
Uh,
energy with me. But I felt that like kind of just say to me, don't move or anything, just allow the water to take you up. And then that's when I could feel people then grab me and like, are you okay? Da, 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 da. One big ass knot on my forehead, yeah. And it was throbbing, man. Like, I don't know, like, I've always been that kid, like, and I'm still that kid now, even as a 43-year-old. That was one time. And then another example that I can really, 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 where I can name it, where I'm becoming, starting to get more connected to and more aware of, was when I was 31 for my 31st birthday. I went paragliding, and like the basically due to genetic memory bank, like open water, big open water, not really my zhuzh. Um so when this thing's taking me up over the sea, I'm gripping the thing, the parachute until my knuckles are white. I'm white knuckling this parachute. And then no word of a lie, not my voice, but I heard the voice say, "It's all right. I've got you. You can relax."
mm,
And then I relaxed, and then I was aware that I was so high up. It was silent. I could only hear the breeze, like the wind, and I could see like birds passing. And I looked and like seeing the water, like the vastness of the water for as far as I could see, and I could see on one side of it the land and everything, and like across like another town or city or whatever, and the buildings and everything. And I was just like, oh my god, this must be what it's like to actually fly like as a bird. I actually wrote a lyric about it still, but that was a time when that was very distinct. I know it wasn't like somebody was outside talking. It was like it was within, but it wasn't my inside voice like when I'm talking to myself. But I heard it within. It's all right. I've got you. So that is the other example of it. So I've never, ever,
mm,
never, not even from a picnic.
mm.
I know it's kind of nuts, and it
I
could be that
like
crazy old cat lady with imaginary friends. That's what people will call it, and that's fine. I'm fine. Like they don't know what I know, so it's cool. You get what I'm saying?
they don't know what you know.
Like, and they don't feel what I feel, so it's just like, and
Yeah.
that's okay. Like I don't need them to believe me to validate that I'm experiencing it. Like that's dead, fam. Hold on, I'm just putting on the light. And has there been any kind of examples that you can think of for you where you knew that you wasn't alone like that or whatnot? Or is it something yet to experience? Hello,
But
baby.
just for me, I went for
Push it. No, just push the whole thing like really. Oh, sorry. 1 second, sis. Oh, you found it. Mm-hmm. Good job. What you need to loo? Don't come on, because I didn't. I checked with your mum, but she didn't say yes. So you can talk, like we can talk using your voice, but because like when you go to school and that, and they say to you that your mum has to sign the paper or your dad has to sign the paper before you can have your photograph taken. It's the same kind of thing, okay? Sorry, sis. Come true again now.
I think for me, maybe I knew, but I didn't know how to. Yeah, I didn't have words for it. But one day I went for a walk. I think the kids were really little. Like carrying, I was still carrying Leah.
Mhm.
And it was just like we went for a walk and nobody was saying anything. And it was just like, it was so interesting. And I was like, where did we just, like, it just felt like we were a part of everything and nothing.
Mhm.
The I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. It's not like the feeling like I'm not lonely, but it was like we were a part of everything. It was the strangest feeling.
So like the awareness of your connectivity to the all kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like, how, if you feel that, how could you ever feel alone? And it was so interesting because I think like Yona was probably 3, and he came out and he was like, we came out of the woods and it was like, that was, and nobody said anything the whole time. I don't even know how long we were there. I don't remember. I had to be at least 2 hours, 3 hours.
The
When I,
comfortable silence.
yeah, yeah. And then he was like, can, can we do that again? Like, it was just like, even as like kids, they just felt it. Well, he felt it. And then the next time it was like such a good feeling. So the next time I had time, I was like, I'm gonna go there for 2 hours. I want to have that same feeling. I went, nothing. It's like I think it comes when you don't even plan for it. It just you just can't time things like that, I guess.
Is it maybe something to do with just being like fully present, not trying to make something happen, not trying to? I guess because when you're trying to do something, I think is an admission that you're not doing it or you don't think that you are. Whereas if you're just
Yeah.
doing it, you're doing it. Do you get
Yeah,
what I
but then
mean?
I do understand at that time too how like people could feel so lonely and then get into substance abuse because it's like, okay, I'm alone. But I was like, if you have that feeling, like there's no way that you feel like you're not a part of everything or you are everything and you're whatever that is. I don't even know how to put it in words.
It's the most profound realization when you actually understand that. Boom, the all is not the all if you're not there,
Hmm.
because it's the all. So if the all has something missing, then it's not the all.
I like that.
So even you, even me, even that person or that thing or that ant or even that mosquito that's annoying, even that little fruit fly that's getting on my nerves, fam. Every single thing from the deepest animal in the deepest part of the sea that we ain't even gone to yet. They just discovered another level down in the sea. Like the all is not the all with something missing. It's the greatness, but it's not the all.
Mm,
So it's including us, and it
mm,
was that realize realization for me. Okay, I'm part of the all. Like I'm a part of this amazing experience, and I'm also like it's the importance, but also like the experience of being the flea
I
on the
think we're
back of a
getting
big
too deep
dog.
in this stuff. I think that's a whole different like thing. Let's let's
I
move
know
on.
we're going off on a tangent for real, but it's fine. It was a good tangent. It felt
It's
good.
fine, but we're getting too deep into that.
Yeah. Um, so like basically, so we've kind of gone through kind of
Maybe
reflection.
that's a whole different channel.
Yeah, I think so, and I think bringing it like back to the whole kind of COVID, C-19, quarantine, lockdown experience, which is what had sparked it, like just the kind of the
Yeah, but like,
understanding that there's a
yeah.
lot of people going through a grieving process through this experience that like we've had kind of pretty much on a global level or at least on national levels in some places. That kind of depression, loneliness, reflection, just as a quick
Mhm.
thing there. I think one of the kind of depression, loneliness for me reflected in the challenges in the start. There was the don't rush or the kind of going to work, getting ready challenge where it was that thing of like you'd see somebody in like their bonnet and their dressing gown and then they'd the camera and then they pull it back and they're all, hey, look at me, I'm still desirable, you still like me, don't you? And then that was quite light-hearted at the start and the whole kind of process. It was kind of cute and I was like, oh, okay. And then towards the end, like it was either was it earlier this year? I think it was earlier this year that it was like the kind of the red light challenge. I don't know if you did you see the put your head on my shoulder and then the song would drop and so the person would be standing there and then it would switch to they've got a red light on. So it's got the silhouette challenge is what it's called. That was it. And it was like where you're supposed to see the silhouette, but for the most part, they're probably in the nude and dancing to this slow tune. And it was just like there's like the loneliness being reflected out. It's like kind of like, yeah, I'm still desirable. Please look at me, but don't look at me because it's a silhouette. And then there were people that saying they've got software that they can take the red light off. So even though this person thinks that they're dancing in the silhouette with the red light, actually there's software that could take that off and just see the person dancing naked and stuff. And it was just interesting seeing how that manifested. And the point before the anger and bargaining, the riots, the Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, da 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 da. The whole there was a whole bargaining and anger piece within the. You get what I'm saying? To come through to like the loneliness, I think was a big one. Am I still desirable? Do you still like me? People were still talking about dating during lockdown, a pandemic with no, I said a pantalones, the jab, like medical experimentation, all these things, and like dating, dating.
Whatever rocks your boat, right?
Like for me, it was like that. I understand that people needed that validation because the whatever was missing within themselves.
Mhm.
No, I won't say that because that's one that sounds really sanctimonious. I'm just trying to say it in the realest way possible. Boom. All right, boom. The people them that I find don't feel lonely, the people them that I find that their self-esteem is at a good level weren't the ones focusing on dating and looking people during this process, then put it that way there. And that's as real as I can get it. Non-judgmental, just what my eye them did see. You get me? That was that very much that. And then is there anything that you wanted to add to that? Or any
No,
thoughts that you
I think we can move on to number five.
Yeah, so, which was wait, six in it.
What
Yeah,
did you
six,
put on?
which is reconstruction or working
Wow.
through. Which you see how like we're there like within it because the reconstruct thing.
Mhm.
Um, I did see people kind of a lot of people trying to kind of reconstruct and rebuild. Like there was a lot of people that went forth and said, "Yeah, okay, I want to try and create a business. I want to create a group. I want to do something to challenge whether it's the we had the kind of medical report that came out a few months back where it said where that confirmed what black people were saying that we were even greatly impacted through this process due to the fact of attitudes, put it that way, towards us in the medical field, which has been there's proof for years. So there was that kind of reconstruction and working through like, okay, what can we do? There's a big push to fight. A lot of people were qualified, especially people of color or black people, was qualifying as like counselors and therapists and things like that because there was a real understanding that actually mental health is important. There's a lot of S happening. People are like what I like to refer to. People are becoming the architects of their own exit out of life.
Mm,
Yeah. Um, people just understanding like there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of mental health issues, especially within the community. I, as a black person, I'm speaking on the black community. I'm sure it was the same for other communities, but we understood that there was a lack of black therapists. So there was a call, like black therapists became like gold, like yo, yeah, you're the solution. Like you're very much part of the solution that we're looking for in terms of self-care, in terms of mental health and things like that, because there is that thing. Like I went to a therapist and I went to and who was a white lady, but she was like she like no, like sis was on point, and I
mhm,
don't play the identity politics like that. It's either like if you're not from my community you either understand or you don't,
mhm,
or you can pretend like you do, but when certain things come up, it's going to be really obvious. And no lie, sis was on point. She was on she had a flex like Jane Elliott, that kind of feeling where she was just honest and open,
mhm,
and that conversation around because the working through part is what you found was you had some people. Black Lives Matter, no, all lives matter. There was those people that kind of that felt the guilt, and their guilt about what was happening outweighed the actual experience of people in our real life. And then I observed that there was also other white people that was just like, you know what? Yeah, this is a crack on bush. Yeah, we're gonna actually just be honest, and yeah, it's uncomfortable, but talk the thing in it. And so that working through, because remember there was a whole thing about Karens got exposed and Brad's. There was like all of these things happened within this period, because even in prior to that, even in comedy and all these things, it was a thing that would be talked about, but it's like yeah. Usually in a corporate space or whatever, she's off again or whatever. But it became so visible that you couldn't even ignore it till when it have a name. You get what I'm saying? So that
mhm,
reconstruction, it's like now we do have the opportunity to rebuild this thing in a way that either we can be really honest about what's going on in. Yeah, it might not be perfect, and it's not, but we can work through it. Or there's still some fractions that are like, yeah, I can't even deal with this. I'm going to do everything I can to actually just shut it down and put it back on you because no. Um, so that's where like I saw that happening, that kind of reconstruct, because like make no bones about it, this thing showed like fam, our prime minister, yeah, it just come out that he's got a CCJ against his name. Like what do you
exactly.
But a CCJ is a county court judgment, like on an unpaid bill. Like, you ain't paid that bill, fam. Number one. And two, like, allegedly, my man's one of the most deadbeat dads out there. Like, my
Mm.
man's got, apparently, like, there's not a distinct figure on the amount of youths he's got. And, like, one of his baby mothers and that, yeah, he was allegedly spending public coffees to the tune of 50, I think is it 57 grand or something, upon his baby mother. And I'm like, what kind of deadbeat dad is this? If this was Darroy in the bookie or Dave in Weatherspoons, they would have locked them up. Or at least put them on child support. Like, what the hell? So reconstruction and working through, mate. Like, we are not
Yeah,
doing
but
that.
I
But
think a lot of things done got exposed, right?
oh, mama. Came to
Mhm.
light, definitely, definitely, definitely.
And
The
I think
20,
those people who were in the dark saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
and some didn't want to see it. Some did not want to see it.
Yeah,
And,
but for those of us who wanted to see it, we could see it.
oh yeah, just like
Mhm. And I think if you have people who don't want to see it, then they have to be left in the dark, right?
um
Because you can't force anybody.
I guess maybe we can, instead of trying to switch the light on them and they're going, no, leave the light off. Maybe you can every so often drop a tea light in the room. Because we had this conversation the other day, and it like, if I've got a migraine, don't put the light on. Don't
Mhm.
do that. Don't. It's actually going to be painful. But
But I think it's really important that everybody sees for themselves. It's like, okay, if you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you just have to go, right? You can't take everyone with you.
that part,
That
follow
part,
your path, and that's what I mean. Every so often, you could leave them a tea light.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you
That
are that light that they need, basically.
not well. Well, the reason why I say leave them a tea light is so that I don't have to be that. I don't want to be that light for anybody. I don't want to. That's too much responsibility, and I've been carrying the
Well, if you
responsibility.
want it or not, but
No, what I'm
yeah.
saying is, I'll give them a little chunk of it, a tea light. I'm not going to turn on the light. I'm not going to be the power grid or none of that. But every so often, fam, you can have a tea light. That's nothing. You see what? That's my approach, kind of thing. But
But
I'm not.
I think I meant something different, but that's a good point too.
No, I think you're like. I guess you're saying like leading by example and kind of lighting the way by what you're doing. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Sis, you know that I hear you. You know that I hear you. It's just you've got a better heart than me, and you uh you have a generosity of spirit. Whereas I'm more like, I think.
But I think maybe the way you approach it, I would say that you know how to protect yourself. It's
Well,
self-protection.
it is
Self.
that. It's the protection element because, like I say, you know what happened in January. Like, from once you face death, like that changes your perspective. Because I used to be like that. I really did. But after facing death and being given another chance and humbling to that, it's like I can't then throw that second chance away
Mm,
because actually, um, it's actually a biblical reference. You can't cast pearl after swine. It don't make
mm.
sense. I don't even eat pork, fam. So why am I giving pigs like pearls? Like, do you get what I mean? Like, and not to call anybody a pig. I'm just saying, fam. You see, this little light of mine, I can make it shine and that. You can. That's what I'm saying. I'll even use my little piece of light that I have to light a tea light for you, and you hold that. You do with that what you need to do. It's nothing to do with me. This is
Mm.
me over here trying to make sure that my candle don't blow out.
Sometimes we forget though, like taking care of yourself is somebody just a yoga teacher just told me. She's like, how many kids do you have? And she said, I have two kids and I have another kid. And I was like, who? She's like, yoga is another kid. She's like, taking care of
Nice.
yourself is another kid.
Yeah. Ooh.
And she was like, that takes a lot of time.
It does. It does. Well, I think
She does it
it
through
takes
yoga.
attention.
Some people do it through different ways. But she said that's a big like that's another baby I have to
It's
attend to all
true
the time.
because the attention that it takes to, for me, it takes a lot of attention, and it is
Mhm.
literally like it's like babysitting, and that's where like because I'm the mother of myself, like that
Mhm.
part that in part of my relationship with myself
But
was
sometimes I
becoming.
think I didn't even see it that way. I was like, wow, that's huge. That was like a big aha moment for me. Like I think I did it, but not like that intentionally, the way she told me. And it was just like it was so interesting.
But
Mind
it's
blowing.
quite it's interesting that you a lot of these things that we speak of, you do them, but without realizing that that's what that's called,
Yeah,
and that's a nice
yeah.
feeling. Like you're very, very versed, to be fair, in that way. It's just that now I think is more about naming it, giving credit for actually I do this. Oh, actually I
Mhm.
do that. Do you know what I mean? I think it's
Yeah, but
important.
I think you come out like with a lot of strength too, and I almost spoke something like a different language. Sorry. Ah!
Do it. Like do it. If it feels to come, don't block it. Trust me.
Uh, and I think we're more motivated and yeah, more awakened. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what you see after your January experience.
yeah. One day I'll do a story time about it because I'm literally. It's taken me this long to even really, really properly even mention it out of my personal circle or really, really come to terms with it. Because like I'm like sometimes I'll catch myself in there, but going, what in a real life?
Mm.
Yo, the trajectory has been mad.
So I'm sure you've been going, you have gone through this process too, right? Through this phase. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The depression definitely, the reflection definitely, loneliness no.
Hmm.
I guess if I was to be keeping it a book, keeping it a whole what full 100, the I could replace the loneliness for isolation, but I isolated myself. I took take away myself because that was part of my
Different things, right?
yeah, it was very much on purpose. It's
Hmm.
very much cleaning house and
Hmm.
understanding that something. I'm only putting in priority those that put me in priority. Like it's like when it's the same euphemism as the tea light. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna come and stand up and light your room when I'm in the darkness. But
Hmm.
if my candle's lit, you can hold it. I can light a tea light for you and you hold that. But never again, because that I felt I was for the most part from I left home really. That's what I've been doing. Taking my little piece of light. I'm not saying I'm the most brilliant or this and that, but one thing I'm now aware of and I can own it is I'm in the room,
Hmm.
I'm there. There's no way that I'm walking into some even without me saying anything, I'm there. I know I'm there because I know I'm there. People will know that I'm there wherever I go. It doesn't matter. Like I understand that and I own it. Even sometimes, even though I want to be the person who's chilling in the background, you're gonna know I'm there. But I'm not the brightest luminary either. I mean, myriads of people whose light is way brighter, and that's cool. Like I'm totally happy with that. However, in my darkness, which I don't fear the darkness, I welcome it because that's incubation space. Because A seed in the ground is not flooded with light. A child in the womb is not flooded with light. It's the darkness that's the
No.
feeding, the incubating. So I'm not afraid of the darkness. What I am saying is that though, when in my times of darkness, when I'm incubating and I don't see a tea light, fam, I can't come and stand up in your room and illuminate it. Not the you must have mad. That's what I'm saying. The only people's room I will come in and stand up and illuminate it is the ones them that fling me a tea light or come and stand up and bring their light into my room.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Mm. I think I still struggle with that, but I hear you. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which is beautiful, which brings us to the last one, number 7. Just a second, 1 second. Hello? Go back. Go open the door. There's somebody at the door for you. You know how to do it, and you have to put it, and you have to. 1 second, right? Yeah, go that way, Bubba. All right, you know the handle. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Good boy. You got it. You got it, baby. Come through in a second, yeah? Come. Good boy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I get to the last point, which is acceptance, and that has been the part that has really, I guess, in all of it, good, bad, and ugly, the acceptance part, because the opposite of, to me, the opposite of acceptance is denial. And like, if it's grief is in somebody's past, denying that they're gone, I feel like it holds them here, it traps them here. And
Mm.
accepting that they've moved to another plane, we can hold them immortal. You see, you, Jimmy, it's all right. You're looking something up on YouTube, and I'm gonna call you. Yes. Yeah, I'm a father. That you know. um, yeah, I think we can. I think it's better and easier to hold them immortal when um we accept that they occupy a different space now. When we accept they're free from the BS here and the complexities and the simplicities of yes, so, and just it's all right. Just the acceptance of our experience, like our avatar being in this whatever this is now
But
to
I
get.
think acceptance is also I saw it somewhere to where it says acceptance or hope.
Oh, that's a beautiful one. So, so would you say that acceptance is a friend of hope?
Because it's like, okay, you accepted that this person is not around or the illness, that experience, but you hope for something better.
Yeah, and I think I'd go one further. I'd say, even more than hope, it galvanizes you into action and movement, like different, like. But it is that movement is like literally kind of fueled by the hope of something better, like the understanding that this can't be all it is. Or well, my thing that I always say to myself when there's peak situations, I'm like, I ain't going through this for nothing. You're mad? No way. It can't be for nothing. It can't be just to go through it, even if it's just the lesson out of it. Like when you might, I don't know, like just on a random one, like you might meet somebody who's a complete psycho or whatnot, and they're just not a nice person. Their job could have been to serve to show you that you know what, I need to love myself more, so
Mhm.
that a person like that don't even have a conversation with me because they never deserved one anyway. So they could have served their, but it just whatever it is, good, bad, or ugly, it can't be for nothing. It's like what Cat Williams said. You need to figure out what it is about yourself that's attracting H. You get what I mean? Like, and it was just like when I had to do one of them by myself meetings, like my feelings was hurt to myself. Like, huh, okay, that's what I was doing. All right. But then the mother in me, the friend in me that have was like, yeah, but I still love you regardless. Okay, we're still
Mm,
gonna work through this. Yeah, I still forgive you. You're still my child. You
mm,
get what I'm saying? So it's like that acceptance, accepting the good. Because was we having that conversation the other day about the toxic positivity?
mhm,
I was explaining about the meeting on Monday, and it's come up on the timeline and whatnot, and that was a huge learning. So that
mhm.
acceptance, man, accepting that we're not perfect people, accepting that we are, accepting that we have the right to be flawed and whatnot.
Acceptance that we have to accept to let go.
It's Friday.
But still,
Do you want some ice cream?
I need to piss. I need to smoke. I need to go to the shops. There's things that I need to do still. So come on.
Well, the bathrooms, this so. I know there's this so. Are you pulling door? This so. So two of them things they start off, you know. No, me soon come, man.
I'm going to smoke. I'll leave you downstairs, mate. I'll go to the shops. Don't fuck about. You know what I'm like. Come on. The two told you manipulate. He's starting. Come on.
Yeah, that's Aries for you, you know. I messaged you in it to ask if you could have joined me upon something.
On the internet.
Yeah, if you say how they do.
Oh.
But if not, don't feel no way. But I ask first. They're on it now.
Yeah.
Come there.
Oh, fuck. Come on.
You're gonna say hi to my friends. Oh, hey. You okay? Don't be going on brand new just because your mother's here, you know, because you know, see, you was guest to see she commented. He was even saying, oh, can we have this? Can you make some for mom? He'll never forget, yeah. So, hi, crowd of people, AZ.
Hi.
Say hi to my friend Az here. This is my friend, this is my little Aries brother, Kai.
Hi, Kai.
And he's having a moment now.
I can't see him the
Am I going like his shy? I'm not shy.
Innit?
It's because mommy come. He's very glad that his mom's come.
Come. I need to go. I want to get things done. I've got work tomorrow. I can't have him. He's going to do it till
Okay,
9. Maybe
we'll
9.
stop here.
Yeah, sorry. That
Yeah.
our thing is things in the machine in it, and just you can collect them whenever. Yeah. I have one bag of something here, just two things. Me I go put on something tonight.
I'm going to do it as well because I've got to wash my uniform.
Don't make me beat you.
No, come with me. Come with me.
Alright. Nah, man, it's real life, man. It's acceptance, the people them still, and it watching Teletubbies. Yeah, so acceptance, I think, is a really important part, and I think what it does is it helps you to flow more. Are you shy now? I'll have to send me the link in it and show you when you was on YouTube in it. Yeah. Say hello.
Hi, Kai. I see. I like your hair.
His hair's beautiful, isn't it? I really like it. You done it booms him.
I'll cut it myself.
I like. And his mum done the trim and that, the line up and that. That's gangster.
Practicing. I've got
Wow.
25 pounds.
Gang.
Because of the lockdown, innit? And I couldn't stand his
You
head.
forgot to make a den today.
You know what? We'll do the den next time, all right? Pinky promise. Pinky swears, yeah? I've promised in front of witnesses, so I can't even take that back now. But next time, yeah, we'll make a den and then we can watch Teletubbies in the den, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I even did the vacuuming so we could do the den. Like I was deadly serious. Because so I'm a dirty bongo when I'm ready.
Yo, you want, and that as well. I got upstairs to do. It's nasty, man.
Listen,
The
it's
plates.
not. It's lived in. It's lived in because ain't no
But
hyacinth book.
that's not lived in. That's neglect.
You know what? It's having to live. Yeah, we're talking about acceptance right about now and the grieving process that we're all in. Where first we lock off, and then it's like, oh, go back to normal, and we're supposed to just navigate that. That's exactly what this conversation is about. So don't watch nothing. It's something I feel just wait for a bit. Is anybody?
That's what I mean. I've been like that this week. Some things got done, some things don't. I do what I can and keep going.
Listen, spit and promise, yeah, lick and promise. You already know.
Right. What's up in the garden?
All right, princess. Love you, sis.
You. Good.
Let me give you the joke about the Uber driver. That time I said to the Uber driver, wait,
funny.
because it was eager beaver, or they accepted another job, yeah. My man Rod, we come outside, he's pulled off. I said, well, this is time you have to put on your big girl pants. You see this one here? Well, I always have time for him. Hear him now. You need help. I was like, yes, I do. I had to just accept it. And I said, yeah, hold my hand and pull me up the hill. And saying, come back and hold my hand and carry me up the hill.
Yeah, that is
Beautiful, man. Like, you had to hold, but like, I was mashed up. Mashed up. That's true. That was that man being a fish head and being eager beaver, and he's gonna lose more than what he did would have gained anyway. So money. And women there.
Yeah, you're a legend. You always say what ask when I need you. Nice to meet you, friends.
Yeah, say hi to Azim. Hi Azim.
Hi, Azim.
Hi.
Hi. Where's the camera?
It's like, yeah.
You got 2 laptops. Yo, I had 2 and I've broken both of them.
No, the other one that's broken. It's like it had drinks. It can't type, can't do nothing. I've had it since 2014.
It's
That's how
dark
old
now.
So this
We'll
is the way.
accept it to say bye-bye.
Yeah, man, sis.
Right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. You two chat. We're going.
You have a
All
nice
right.
evening.
We're chatting to her. Right. Thank you. Pleased to meet. Thank you. You got money there. Gone.
You see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, darling.
See you later.
I'm saying nothing. I'm saying not a word to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like sorry. So acceptance. How's that feeling to you, or how's that manifesting? Last thing, and then we just wrap up the season. It was actually nice. Like I don't like real life. Like you see, when you live good amongst your people, them like it's not even nothing to show it. You get what I'm saying? Oh. Yeah, man. And that was the thing, like, because I was just like that. I don't know. I've been waffling on a lot about it.
I think, yeah, we'll call it a night. But I think for me is acceptance is to look forward to the future
Oh,
and move on.
no, but drop the wisdom on that, like, because that's. You see, you do every time you always get me with that, like, all that waffling, all of that experience, and you just take it and distill it, boom, diamond.
But it was a good talk. I really enjoyed it today. I enjoy it every time, but I really enjoyed it today. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm gonna say thank you so much for one rounding this off with me. Two for actually mentioning it because I was literally in that space of acceptance. Like if I just had to kind of, if the season was the part one and then next season was so like thank you for actually thank you for the encouragement to instead of me because like where I would normally I would just walk away like with I'll just the kind of fuck it. I would just like, yeah, all right, fuck it then, and walk away. Like, thank you for actually helping me to complete the gestalt. Thank you for being there. Thank you,
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, and thank you for being like a light in my room. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, literally at the moment, I forgot to put the lights on and whatnot as I normally do. The main part of the light that's in this room at the moment is coming from you right now. Like, and that's on a
Oh,
it's on a physical level, but it's also spirit very, and it has been from what, June, July 2020. It's been that way. You know what I mean? And it's nothing for me to say it because it's like I'm not gonna say something to you privately that I'm not gonna say publicly. You have done that. You've shown and proved. That's why we roll. That's why, like, um, no worry, man. Like, I'm just like, I'm excited. The acceptance is making me excited for the future. Trust me, sis. Like, differently, and I can say that with chest.
yes. Ubuntu all the way.
Ubuntu. Yeah, man. So that so even in that, the grief doesn't feel as catastrophic. Going through that grieving process with genuine people, you know what I mean? It looks different. The
Yes.
outcome's different in a good way.
Mm.
So I guess to just finish off the season and what's quite a deep topic, I guess. Maybe if you want to join us, if you've watched this far, in taking a deep breath. So after three, one, two, three, and hold it if you can, and then breathe out when you feel ready. Thank you. So we'll run off by saying, well, pieces like we're gonna roll. Definitely look out for us. We'll be here. We'll let you know when we're coming through, giggling and laughing and making our leap of mischief and Ubuntu, and just in our just beautiful selves as we are, authentic and all of that. And yo, and a massive shout out to also Hannah who joined us part of the season, and also Aleakwe Good Vibes as well, who brought their light to the thing as well. And just say a big love if you fancy leaving a tip. That's the cash app there. Also the definitely the link to the site that we worked from is in the
Oh,
description. I know it's been a long week, fam. I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
oh, but it's so
And
late here. I didn't even realize.
uh
It's so late already.
yeah, because it's what, like now nearly 10 o'clock in your turn, ain't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's time, man. Weekends definitely there now. Time for just chill off, just relax and just you know what I mean? So
But every day does feel like Friday, so
well, if it feel like Friday, make it a feel good Friday, not with the
yes,
Y, with the
yes,
EH there. And
Friday. Yeah.
even even if it's where you're having to look at the things that feel ugly up to make you feel good, so we can release it and we move. So on that note, yeah, I'm gonna say peace, Coda people, drink
Peace.
water and look after yourself. And we'll
Yes.
see you in the next season. All right. All right.
Bye.
Bye.